Easy people, welcome back to my channel at Big Steve MCFC. This is just a little match reaction from last night's game. Brighton won, Manchester City won. Didn't go to the game last night. I woke up yesterday morning, was feeling a bit unwell. Lost my hotel money, I couldn't cancel it, so it was a tour down the drain. Gave me tickets away on Instagram. I had free tickets, I gave them away. 3 people got to go and watch Manchester City yesterday who never been before. So I was happy with that. So yesterday consisted of me trying to get better. I settled down about 7 o'clock, got my cup of tea, and sat in front of the TV like an armchair fan that I am, and got ready to watch the champions. It was always going to be a tough game decision-wise for Pep. Obviously, we've seen the pictures of the players partying over the last few days, and I think a few of them were carrying niggles, and there's a few sore heads and stuff. So it was intriguing to see what kind of team we would play with the FA Cup final coming up, the Champions League final coming up. There's not an awful lot of games to keep the rhythm going, and that's all I am, to be honest, worried about, is the rhythm. I expect a little drop off if you've won the league. It tends to happen most seasons, but it's not just we've won the league and they're on the beach and they're ready to go on holiday. They've got 2 of the most important games in the club's history coming up: FA Cup final against them, and Inter Milan in the Champions League final. There's 1 game now left in Brentford where, for me, I think he's got to go full strength, ready for the cup final. But anyway, the team came out. It was Ortega in net again, which was a surprise. I mean, is he going to play Ederson in the FA Cup final? Is that why he's giving Ortega games now? Or is he building Ortega up for the FA Cup final? I just don't know. Who else played last night? So we had Walker, Stones, Rodri, and Rico at the back. We had Kevin De Bruyne, Gundogan, and Bernardo, and it was Mahrez, Foden, Haaland. So listen, it was a great team. You know what I mean? It's not like we're putting out the reserves. It was a solid team. But he did rest the key players. Diaz, do you know what I mean? Grealish and the boys all got a rest. So, you know, let me have a brew. Let me have a bit of this. So on paper, we had a good lineup. Obviously, Brighton are playing some great football at the minute. They're a fantastic team. They've had a great season. They only needed a point for the Europa League. Anyway, the game started off. I thought City started off well. I thought it was zipping it about well. I thought Brighton were pressing us, but we were managing to get over the press. I thought Ortega at times was riding his luck. You know, they were closing it down fast, and then they got caught out. I thought Big Erling, when they press us, he leaves a lot of space for Erling to drop in. I thought his link-up play was okay early doors. I felt like he should have scored that header. Phil Foden, who started the game bright, got down the left, got the cross in. Haaland, sometimes for me, Haaland's heading ability is mad. Do you know what I mean? The guy scores goals for fun, but he's heading. That looked like a simple header for him, but obviously he missed it. So, yeah, we could have been 1-0 up early doors. Brighton was huffing and puffing. They got some great players. Danny Welbeck looks like he's fucking rolled back the years. Don't know how that happened, because he used to be shit. The young kid who scored the goal, Sensio or something, whatever he's called, he was fantastic. Saicedo, the young Ecuadorian kid, is a great player. And they play good football, you know what I mean? The manager is coming to this league, and he's, I think he lost the first 5 games, and he's literally put his stamp on Brighton, and people thought Brighton were going to go downhill after Potter. Well, I'm sorry. You know, they're a great side, and he's got them playing well. And I think a lot of teams in Europe and the Premier League who are looking for managers are going to be looking at him. Do you know what I mean? Deserve, or whatever he's called, are going to be looking at him, because he looks like he takes no nonsense. He looks like he knows football. Pep Guardiola spoke highly of him. He's playing well. Anyway, we got our noses in front. Erling Haaland breaks through, found the gap over the top, gets one-on-one with a goalkeeper, cuts it to his left. You think he's going to shoot. He rolls it to Phil Foden, who it wasn't the most fiercest shot in the world, who side foots it. The guy on the line couldn't get near it. It bobbles over him and in. 1-0. Happy days. It had a feel about it last night of a bit like a training match. I know I'm not disrespecting Brighton, but it did. We're not the same team at the back when Ruben Dias doesn't play. We were all over the place. They were getting in and around us. You take Rodri out the midfield, you're losing a big part of your midfield. So if Rodri's at centre-back and Diaz isn't as well, you're losing Ruben Dias at centre-back and you're losing Rodri out the middle. So that's basically your spine of your team gone. We started to ride our luck a bit. I thought Brighton played really well. Mitoma scored, sort of bundled it in over the line. I think Mitoma's a great player, by the way. But I think Kyle Walker with pace, he couldn't get near him. I think Kyle had him on toast. The kid that scored, is he called Sensio? I think the Paraguayan kid, 80. I mean, what a goal. He picks it up, plenty of space, pings it. If you watch the replay, it was funny on Sky. If you watch the replay, as he's hit it, there's a City fan right behind the net. You can see him in the netting. And as the ball's going towards the net, he just gets his hands out of his pockets and starts clapping as if to say, yeah, fair play, mate. What a goal. And it was a great goal, by the way. There was no goalkeeper stopping that. So we rid our luck towards the end of the half. I thought we did look a little bit tired. It's games like this one where Calvin Phillips, for me, should start instead of like Gundogan. Do you know what I mean? And the fact that he didn't, I keep saying it every week on these shows, Pep just clearly doesn't trust him. I do think he played well last week. I did think last night when he came on late, he did okay. But if you can't trust him at this late game in the season, there's something wrong. Half time, no changes for City. I think they brought McAllister and that on just after the break. Second half was a little bit more laboured, I thought. I didn't think Brighton overly went for it. I don't think City overly went for it. Phil Foden apparently might have a little knock. I believe Bernardo Silva might have a knock. I seen a picture of Haaland's shins on social media last night that were cut to death. So he was in the wars with a big centre-back for them, that Van Eyck, who looks all right, to be fair. And yeah, got to mention Cole Palmer because Cole's not had a great season for us. He's not been playing many games, but I thought last night when he came on, he was very, very positive. He was very, very direct. When he receives the ball, he opens his body up and turns and goes at the defender. Thought Riyad on the other side was a bit quiet for Riyad. He was very, very safe. Ball to his feet, ball out of his feet. He wasn't really going at them. And I thought we'd snatched it. Cole Palmer down the line, dinked it to the back post. Erling finishes with a header. In real time, didn't look like there was anything wrong for me. See the replay. There's a bit of pulling and shoving, but come on. Erling Haaland has his shirt ripped off him every game. Yeah, literally. And nothing gets done. Colwell was weak there. Do you know what I mean? He let Haaland get in front of him. He got away with it, in my opinion. But anyway, you've seen it give him. He's pulled his shirt and it's back to 1-1. And the game sort of petered out from that. You know what I mean? Calvin Phillips came on. Got a few minutes. Gomez came on, got a few minutes. But I think City overall was happy with the draw. I think Brighton was happy with the draw. I think Brighton get into the Europa League, which is a tremendous achievement for them. We go on, still undefeated, march on to Brentford on Sunday. So I think all round, everyone was sort of happy with it. You know what I mean? We're on a tremendous run at the minute, so we can't moan, you know what I mean? I just think Brentford game, Sunday coming up, is going to be the one where I think we've got to go full strength. We need to get the rhythm back for the cup final. I think it's got to go full strength at Brentford. We've got to put a shift in. We've got to forget about the championship now. We've won that. We've celebrated it. We've still got unfinished business, unfinished Haaland business to sort out as well. So for me, Brentford coming up, Brentford are a great side. You know what I mean? Especially at home. Last game of the season. Sun's going to be shining. Crowd's going to be up. They're going to want to leave the season on a high. We need to make sure we get that rhythm back. Zipping that ball about. Rodri in midfield. Diaz at the back. Akanji back there. Haaland. Bernardo and Grealish are the front three for me. Gundogan, Rodri, De Bruyne in the middle. Got to get the minutes in the tank. Get the game won early doors, 60, 70 minutes, start changing. That's what I would do personally. But Pep Guardiola, he's a different animal. You know what he's like? He can be a bit mad. His press conference this week, what are you going to do if you win the treble? What's the next target? Scoring away at Tottenham. Fucking love that, Pep, because I'm the same as you. I ain't going to Tottenham next season because it burns me out. It costs me a fortune. I know a load of Tottenham fans and I just get ripped apart from the second I get there to the second I leave. So we need to sort that out. But listen, there was a few people panicking last night. I seen on social media, oh, he shouldn't be doing this, he shouldn't be doing that. Listen, relax. We know what we're doing. I know you're nervous. It's the FA Cup final against that mob. And then it's the Champions League. This is now not the time to panic. This is the time to relax, trust the manager, trust the players. The players have had a long season. They've had a hard running the last 10 games. They couldn't change it a lot because we needed the points. So he knows his players more than us. So there's some of them players there that are probably carrying little niggles and knocks. And if he can rest them and get them 100% for United and 100% for Inter Milan, that is how we need to approach it. Because last season, remember, we had Emerick Laporte patched up, injections in his legs. We had Fernandinho, who could barely walk, playing at right back, centre mid. So we're not in that position yet. Look like we've got a good, healthy squad so far. Touch wood. But we've got to keep it going, one game at a time, keep it moving, get Brentford out of the way. We've got a week's rest, Man United in the FA Cup. Big game. Get Brentford out of the way, no injuries, nothing daft. A great performance, plenty of rhythm, plenty of knocking it about. And then, I think we're going into these next 2 games, FA Cup and Champions League, in great form. So that's my opinion on it. I'd just like to say as well, big up the Terrace Cult sky blue polo that everybody bought. Honestly, my last stream, I did a cheeky plug for the Terrace Cult polo, and fair play to you bought it. And everyone's messaged me and said, Steve, the polo's mint, the quality's mint and all that. There's still stock, there's still time. terracecult.com, get your polo. Yeah, why not? And listen, at the end of the day, if you look down there, Ballers Champagne, yeah? Ballers Champagne is the official champagne supplier to Manchester City Football Club. They have looking after me this month on my channel. They brought out a limited edition Champions champagne bottle. It's sold out after Sunday. It comes in a box. You open the box. It's a full sky blue bottle. You get a plaque on it, a new plaque. I'll show you it on my socials. It says Manchester City Limited Edition Champions 23. So if you want one of them, you can pre-order it. Get onto Ballers. Yeah, you can. Right, this side. If you scan that, it takes you straight to Ballers. Yeah, scan that, takes you straight to Ballers Champagne. It's a good memento. Listen, a few of the older Blues have bought them. They're going to keep them. It's a nice memento. This one is the one they sold out of as well. Manchester City, limited edition, Ballers Champagne, comes with a plaque. Now, this one's about 65, I think. Listen, this is for over 18s only. I'm plugging this because Ballers are looking after Manchester City and they're looking after me. I said I'd help them out on the channel. But I just think it's a nice little gift. There's plenty of times coming up in the next few months where we could be cracking open the champagne, without tempting fate. So, Ballers Champagne, I want to see them getting cracked. If we beat them scumbags next week, crack open the Ballers. If we win the treble in the Champions League, crack open a crate of Ballers, because it'd be the biggest party Manchester's ever seen. So big thanks to Ballers Champagne for helping me out with that. Like I say, you know anyone that made you a City fan when you was a kid, somebody who's a proper Blue, maybe not going to go to the games, maybe be watching at home, then listen, Ballers, click here. Ballers, click here. Terrace Cult. That's my advertising pitch. I'm allowed to do it. You know what? I never do it. People take money for sponsorships and I don't. I'm doing this to help ballers out. Do you know what I mean? They're giving me champagne to give away on my channel and that. Over 18s only on the competitions for the champagne, please. Don't forget, drink responsible. Yeah. Calm it down. Don't be going off your trumpet. Yeah. I know there's plenty of times to celebrate soon, but we've got to relax, simmer down, yeah. Simmer down, one game at a time. But listen, Blues, that's my little preview. Just giving you my thoughts. I thought City did well. I thought we got some minutes in legs that don't usually get minutes. I think that we tried a couple of new things. I think Pep's got it under control. I think Brentford on Sunday is going to be a really good test for us to get that rhythm back and get that mojo back ready for what's coming. I think everyone that's going to Brentford on Sunday, I'll be there. So I'll see you down there. Let's enjoy it. If you're not going to Brentford on Sunday, enjoy the game wherever you are. We're champions again. Manchester City FC, 5 titles in 6 years. Champions of England. We know what we are. I'll leave you with that one. Thanks for the support. Please hit the like button. Please leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. And listen, I really appreciate the way my channel's growing at the minute. These likes and people sharing and interacting with me is getting me the followers up, and I really appreciate it. And a big shout out to Luke at MCFC, lads, for helping me out as well. The kid is a genius. Him and Daps, they look after me on this because I'm an old timer and I can't turn the computer on, but I appreciate it. So go check out MCFC Daps. Go check out MCFC, lads. And come on, City. Brentford next. Up the Blues.